Good afternoon and welcome to Foreigndesk on Benway Television. My name is Winifred Yuso. On the headlines, Kenya's police confronts anti-government protesters. 4 killed in shooting near Oman Mosque. Plus, Thailand expands visa-free entry to 93 countries. Police in Kenya have fired tear gas to disperse hundreds of protesters aiming to keep pressure on President William Ruto after he made a series of concessions to demonstrators. Activists behind weeks of protests that were initially sparked by proposed tax hikes called for a total shutdown of the country on Tuesday. The protesters have created the biggest crisis of Ruto's 2 years in power and have continued even after the president withdrew $2.7 billion in tax hikes and fires nearly his entire cabinet. Many demonstrators are demanding that Ruto step down, blaming him for misgovernance, corruption, and the deaths of dozens of protesters during earlier anti-government rallies. Ruto's office had announced multi-sectoral talks for this week to address grievances raised by the protesters, but there was no sign they had begun. Most of the leading activists behind the protests have rejected the invitation, instead calling for immediate action on issues like corruption. With Kenya's government spending more than 30% of its revenue just paying the interest on its debt, Ruto has been caught between the demands of lenders to cut deficits and a hard-pressed population reeling from the rising cost of living. Rwandan President Paul Kagame is on course to extend his 24-year rule by another 5 years in a landslide victory, with most of the votes counted from Monday's election. He has 99.15% of the votes so far, with about 79% of ballots counted partial. The 66-year-old again faced no meaningful opposition, with leading figures banned. His two opponents shared less than 1% of the vote. The Electoral Commission says 98% of the more than 9.5 million eligible voters took part in the elections. They were voting for a president and 53 legislators. Elections for 27 special seats meant for women, young people, and people with disabilities will take place on Tuesday. Mr. Kagame has been the de facto leader of Rwanda since the end of the 1994 genocide and president since 2000. Rights groups accuse him of curtailing freedoms since taking office, while his supporters say he had presided over economic growth and helped end ethnic divisions. With a bandage strapped over one ear, Donald Trump made a triumphant return to the public eye on Monday evening at the Republican National Convention, receiving a rapturous welcome from thousands of supporters 2 days after an attempt on his life. The former president entered the convention arena in Milwaukee with a fist raised and to the strains of a live performance of God Bless the USA. The Republican nominee for November's presidential contest is riding a wave of political momentum. The Democratic Party has been questioning 81-year-old Joe Biden's candidacy following a poor debate performance last month, while Trump's team has celebrated recent legal victories. Let's take a quick break. Foreigndesk will be back with more stories. Do stay with us. Welcome. Police confirms 4 people have been killed and several others wounded in a shooting near a mosque in Oman's capital, Muscat. A brief statement issued overnight said officers had responded to the incident and were now conducting investigations to uncover the circumstances. The police provided no details about the identities of the attacker and the victims, as well as the apparent motive. But Pakistan's ambassador suggested that its citizens were among the wounded. The U.S. Embassy warned U.S. citizens to be vigilant and canceled visa appointments on Tuesday as a safety precaution. Such violence is rare in Oman, a Gulf state that has long been seen as one of the most stable and secure countries in the Middle East. This has allowed it to play a leading role in mediation efforts to try to resolve conflicts and disputes in the region. Police confirmed 6.23 tons of cocaine hidden in a banana shipment in Ecuador. The cocaine was said to be found by sniffer dogs. The dogs alerted their handlers, who seized 5,630 parcels filled with a white substance that later tested positive for cocaine. Officials said the shipment was destined for Germany and would have been worth $224 million had it reached its destination. 5 people had been arrested following the discovery, according to the prosecutor general's office. Police said they had found the massive cocaine haul during a routine inspection of containers stored at Posaja Deepwater Port, southwest of Ecuador's largest city, Guayaquil. The cocaine parcels have been hidden beneath crates of bananas destined for export. One of those arrested in connection to the drug discovery was a representative of the export company responsible for the shipment, whom prosecutors said had been present at the inspection and gave officials the names of the 4 other suspects. They include the managers of the banana plantation, where the cocaine is suspected to have been added to the fruit shipment, as well as the driver who took the container to the port. At least 4 Indian soldiers were killed in the gun battle with rebels fighting against Indian rule in Indian-administered Kashmir, the latest in a series of deadly attacks. The army said in a statement that the troops were ambushed in the forests of the southern Doda district in the Jammu division late on Monday. Government forces were conducting search operations in the area based on intelligence when the shooting began. Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha and the top political official in the Himalayan region said forces would avenge the death of their soldiers. In a statement, a group calling itself the Kashmir Tigers claimed responsibility for the assault, saying it laid an ambush and opened fire on Indian forces in an attack that lasted 20 minutes. It claimed the death toll was higher than officially announced. The incident brings the number of soldiers and police killed this year on the Indian side of the disputed territory to 17 in total. Let's take another quick break. We will be back shortly. Don't go away. Welcome. Now, Thailand has expanded its visa-free entry scheme to 93 countries and territories as it seeks to revitalize its tourism industry. Visitors can stay in the Southeast Asian nation for up to 60 days under the new scheme that took effect on Monday. Thailand recorded 17.5 million foreign tourist arrivals in the first 6 months of 2024, up 35% from the same period last year, according to official data. However, the numbers pale in comparison to pre-pandemic levels. The revised visa-free rules are part of a broader plan to boost tourism. Also on Monday, Thailand introduced a new 5-year visa for remote workers that allows holders to stay up for up to 180 days each year. The country will also allow visiting students who earn a bachelor's degree or higher in Thailand to stay for 1 year after graduation to find a job or travel. In a statement, Kantapong Tanongro, president of the Thai Tourism Promotion Association, noted that if more people are coming, it means the country as a whole, not just the Ministry of Tourism, has to prepare their resources to welcome them. Some people have raised safety concerns after rumors that tourists have been kidnapped and sent across the border to work in scam centers in Myanmar or Cambodia. At least 8 Pakistani soldiers have been killed in an attack after suicide bombers rammed a vehicle loaded with explosives into a perimeter wall at a military base. Rebels attacked the army outpost in Banu on the border with the tribal area of North Waziristan. In a statement on Tuesday, the military said soldiers killed all 10 assailants involved in the assault. According to them, this timely and effective response prevented major catastrophe, saving precious innocent lives. The attack was claimed by the Hafiz Gul Bahadur armed group under the Pakistan Taliban TTP, which the army said operates out of neighboring Afghanistan to orchestrate acts of terrorism inside Pakistan. Among the dead in Monday's attack were 7 army members and 1 paramilitary soldier. The Pakistan Armed Forces assures the citizens that they will take all necessary measures as deemed appropriate against the threats emanating from Afghanistan. The attack also comes weeks after Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif announced a sweeping new campaign to root out armed groups following a surge in violence. That's all we have for you on Foreign Desk. But before we go, let's take a recap of the top stories. Kenyan police confront anti-government protesters. We told you 4 killed in shooting near Oman Mosque. Thailand expand visa-free entry to 93 countries. Thanks so much for watching. My name is Winifred. You so do stay tuned to Benue Television for our other programs and have a good day.